Hello everyone, this is Asra Sultana, Assistant Professor in EEE Department, ISL Engineering College. So today we are going to see the Unit 2 of Electrical Machines 2 subject. Already we have completed the first unit of Electrical Machines 2, in which we have seen various topics related with three-phase induction motor. So we have studied the operating principle of three-phase induction motor, construction of three-phase induction motor, production of torque, torque slip characteristics, speed torque characteristics, and we have seen power flow diagram of three-phase induction motor. We have seen the various tests performed on three-phase induction motor, that is no load and block rotor test, and we have drawn a circle diagrams based on these two tests. And also we have seen the load test on three-phase induction motor to determine the performance of three-phase induction motor. Now the contents of second unit are the starting and speed control methods of three-phase induction motor. So various starting methods like auto transformers, start delta starter. Speed control methods will be resistance control, voltage control, pole changing, cascading methods. Okay. Next is induction generator, operating principle and application. So this is the content of second unit. We are going to see the various starters of three-phase induction motor, various speed control methods of induction motor, and operating principle of induction generator and its applications. Let us see the what we have studied in earlier classes. What is rotating magnetic field? Okay. So rotating magnetic field is a field of flux having constant amplitude but whose axis is continuously rotating in plane with certain speed. So how it is happening, that also we have seen. To the stator of induction motor we are applying three-phase supply. So three-phase voltages, three-phase supply is given, three-phase currents and three-phase flux is developed in the stator, and hence rotating magnetic field will be developed, and the speed with which the rotating magnetic field rotates is called as synchronous speed, and it is given by Ns is equal to 120 F by P. So when the supply is connected to the three-phase induction motor, rotating magnetic field will be set up in the stator, and this rotating magnetic field will cut the rotor conductors, and current will be induced. First EMF will be induced in the rotor conductors, and because of this EMF, current will be produced because rotor is a shorted path. So rotor has a shorted path, so current will be flowing in the rotor. So rotor currents will be produced, and these rotor current will produce their own magnetic field, which will interact with rotating magnetic field, and force will be exerted on the rotor conductors, and torque will be produced in the induction motor, and rotor starts rotating. So what we are understanding from this, that induction motor is self-starting. So there is no doubt in this that induction motor is self-starting. So what is the need of starter? To provide, not only to provide starting, but to reduce the heavy starting current and provide overload and no voltage protection. So that we are going to see now what exactly is the need of starter. So before going to see that, we will see the torque slip characteristics. To discuss various methods of starting of three-phase induction motor, we have to see the torque slip characteristics of three-phase induction motor. So this is the torque slip characteristics showing three regions, that is motoring, braking and generating regions. X-axis we are taking speed and slip, y-axis we are taking torque. Yes, this already we have discussed in the previous classes. So in motoring region, slip value will be between 0 and 1. The value of slip lies between 0 and 1 for motoring region. So when speed is 0, slip is equal to 1. We know this value. Okay. Slip is maximum whenever speed is equal to 0. Here we can see this is n is 0 here and slip is 1. When n is equal to ns, slip is 0. So we are not concerned with this. We are concerned with starting torque, starting speed, starting slip. Okay. Starting, what is the starting speed? Speed is equal to 0, slip is equal to 1. So slip is equal to 1. So we are having some positive starting torque. So we can say that induction motor is self-starting machine. So what is the need of starter? So when we see the equivalent circuit of three-phase induction motor at the time of starting, Motor will behave like a transformer with short-circuited secondary winding. Because at the time of starting, rotor is stationary and back EMF due to rotation is not developed. And the motor will draw high current from the supply. So we require a starter to limit this high starting current. Okay, and what we are telling here, equivalent circuit of induction motor will look like a equivalent circuit of a transformer with its secondary winding short circuited. So the induction motor is a generalized transformer. Already we have seen this. That is, transformer will have primary and secondary windings, whereas induction motor will have stator and rotor. So some differences and some equalities are there between this transformer and induction motor. So there will be no air gap in the transformer, but air gap will be present in the induction motor. So transformer is a alternating flux transformer, whereas induction motor is a rotating flux transformer. And we have seen K value also. K is equal to E2 by E1. Transformation ratio also we have seen for transformer and induction motor. So what we are telling here is that the induction motor will behave as a transformer and its rotor is short circuited. Secondary here implies rotor. Okay, so rotor is short circuited. So current will be very high in the rotor side. So stator will also take high current from the starter from the starting voltage. So that is to reduce this starting current we are using starter. Now we can explain this in another way also, like by using the equation of current, that is I2R is equal to SE2 divided by root of R2 square plus SX2 whole square. So this is the equation for rotor current in running condition. So I2R is the rotor current in running condition, S is the slip here, E2 is the EMF induced in the rotor, R2 is the resistance of rotor in running condition, X2 is the reactance in running condition, S is slip. Yes. So in a three-phase induction motor, magnitude of induced EMF in rotor circuit depends on the slip of induction motor. So EMF is depending on the slip. So this EMF will affect induced EMF effectively decides the magnitude of the rotor current. So this EMF will decide this magnitude of current. So slip EMF is depending on the slip and this current is also depending on this EMF. So speed is 0 at start and slip is equal to 1. We have already seen this from torque slip characteristics. So magnitude of rotor induced EMF is very large at start. As rotor conductors are short circuited, large induced EMF circulates very high current through rotor at start. So this already we have discussed. Rotor conductors are short circuited, large induced EMF will circulate with a very high current through rotor at start. So this is a condition similar to a transformer with short circuited secondary. So such as transformer when excited by rated voltage will circulate very high current through short circuited secondary. So a secondary current is large, primary will draw very high current from the supply. So similarly, three-phase induction motor, when rotor current is high, consequently the stator will draw very high current from the supply. This current can be of the order of 5 to 8 times full load current at start. So because of this heavy inrush current at start, there is possibility of damage of the motor winding. Similarly, sudden inrush of current causes voltage drop. So other appliances connected to the same line may be subjected to voltage spikes which may affect their working. What are these spikes? Spikes are nothing but fast, short duration electrical transients in an electrical circuit. So these spikes can be voltage spikes, current spikes, energy spikes. Okay. So what are the transient? Transient is a short-lived burst of energy in a system caused by a sudden change of state. See here in this diagram you can see the transients. Voltage spikes. What is the voltage spike here? Some transients will be appearing in the waveform. We want a pure sinusoidal waveform, but because of these transients, voltage spike will be happening in the motor, and the machines connected to this motor also get affected because of these voltage spikes. So to avoid such effects, it is necessary to limit the current drawn by the motor at start. So starter is a device which is basically used to limit the high starting current by supplying reduced voltage to the motor at the time of starting. So what is a starter? Starter is a device which is basically used to limit the high starting current by supplying reduced voltage to the motor at the time of starting. Such a reduced voltage is applied only for short period, and once rotor gets accelerated, full normal rated voltage is applied. So after this reduced voltage is applied only in the starting. As the rotor gets some 80% of the speed, then starter will be removed automatically or manually, and rated voltage will be applied to the motor. Not only starter limits the starting current but also provides protection to the induction motor against overloading and low voltage situations. So till now we have seen to reduce the starting current we are using a starter, but also it will give the protection to the induction motor against overloading and low voltage. So motor overload will occur when motor is under excessive load. So what are those symptoms? Excessive current drawing, insufficient torque and overheating. So these are the primary symptoms that accompany a motor overload. Protection against single phasing is also provided by the starter. What is single phasing? When one of the phase of three-phase system, that is RYB, three phases will be there for a three-phase system. So if one of the phase is accidentally opened or intentionally opened, it will be considered as the single phasing. So this is called as voltage unbalance. So starter will give the protection to the motor against this single phasing also. Now, usually for motors having rating below 5 HP, HP is horsepower here. That is for small motors, very large starter is not required. Only small, that is direct online starter. We are directly connecting the line with the motor. So that starter is called as direct online starter. This direct online starter will provide induction motor protection against overvoltage, overloading, single phasing, low voltage. Okay. So direct online starter is a starter which will be used only for small motors having rating below 5 HP, which will give the protection against overloading, single phasing, low voltage. So from the expression of rotor current, that is I2R is SE2 divided by under root R2 square plus SX2 whole square. It can be seen that current at start can be controlled by reducing E2. So how this is possible? How to reduce E2? This E2 can be reduced by supplying reduced voltage at start. Okay, so this is one method. We can we can give the less current to the motor or reduced current to the motor. Second method is to increase the rotor resistance R2 at start. Okay, one method is by reducing the voltage at start, or second method is increasing the rotor resistance R2 at start. So the second method is possible only in case of slip ring induction motors. Because why? Because yes, already we have seen the construction of three-phase induction motor. In that what we have seen? So for a slip ring induction motor only we can add the resistances. Squirrel cage we cannot add it. It is shorted already. The rotor is shorted in squirrel cage rotor. So we can add external resistances only in case of slip ring induction motor. What are the various types of starters? So based on the above two methods of reducing the starting current, we can see there are 5 starters: stator resistance starter, auto transformer starter, star delta starter, rotor resistance starter, direct online starter. Stator resistance, auto transformer, star delta, rotor resistance and direct online starter. Let us see the first one, that is stator resistance starter. So here we can see this is the stator of the induction motor and this is the rotor. Which type of rotor? This is squirrel cage rotor I have shown here. Okay, squirrel cage rotor, and this is the stator of an induction motor. Now to the R, Y, B phases of stator of induction motor, we are applying here resistances. Can you see here? We are inserting a resistance in each phase. and this will be connected to the three-phase AC supply. These resistances are connected to the three-phase AC supply. So initially at start, this resistance is kept at maximum position so that reduced voltage is given to the induction motor, and we can reduce the incoming current also to the induction motor, to the stator of the induction motor, and gradually by moving it from start to run position, that is as the motor gathers some speed, this resistance can be cut out, okay, and direct rated voltage can be applied to the motor. Okay, in run position, what is happening, this arrow we are putting here, from here to here it will come. First you are keeping it start here at start, then you gradually we are moving it from to run position. So at run position, after gathering some speed, these resistances will be cut out and direct rated voltage will be applied to the motor. So in order to supply the reduced voltage to the stator of induction motor, three resistances are added in series with each phase of the stator winding. So initially resistances will be kept at maximum position in the circuit. So line voltages will get dropped across the resistances. So reduced voltage will be applied to the stator, which will reduce the high starting current. When the motor starts running, resistances are gradually cut out from the stator circuit. When the resistances are entirely removed from the stator circuit, that is rheostats in run position, then rated voltage gets applied to the stator and motor will run with normal speed. Now let us see the advantages of the stator resistance starter. Starter is simple in construction and cheap. Second one is it can be used for both star and delta connected stator. See the stator which we have used here in this diagram. This is a star connected stator. Star means what? Y shape. Delta will be what? Like this delta. Okay. So this stator can be of star or delta. In this method, stator resistance starter, we can use both star and delta type of stator. One more advantage is that it is simple and in construction and cheap. Disadvantages, let us see. There are large power losses due to resistances. So resistances are there, so power loss will be there, I square R. Also the starting torque of motor reduces due to reduced voltage applied to the stator. Because we are reducing the voltage, so starting torque is also reduced. So this is also one disadvantage. Now let us see the relation between starting torque and full load torque. P2 is equal to T into omega S. We know this equation. Or general equation of power is T into omega. What is T here? Torque produced. What is P2? P2 is the rotor input at NS. Already in the power flow diagram we have seen what is this P2, PC, PM. So P2 will be the stator output or rotor input. Now what is NS here? NS is the speed of rotating magnetic field. It is given by 120 F by P. F is the supply frequency, P is the number of poles of the stator for which it is wound. Now what we can say here? Torque is proportional to P2. We can write from this equation, torque is proportional to P2. But P2 is PC by S. From the relationship of P2 PC PM, that is P2 is to PC is to PM is equal to 1 is to S is to 1 minus S. We can write P2 is equal to PC by S, or PC is total copper losses. PC is what? Total copper losses. It is given by 3 I square R. So what will be this IR? What will be this I? I to R. Okay. I to R is nothing but rotor current in running condition. R2 is the rotor resistance per phase. So 3I2R square into R2 by S will be my P2. PC value we substituted in numerator. Denominator slip will be there. So as it is. Torque can be proportional to this I2R square by S by taking other things as constant, that is R2 is constant, 3 is constant. I can write torque is proportional to I2R square by S. But this rotor current I2R and stator current are related to each other through transformer action. That is, torque is proportional to I1 square by S. I1 is what here? Stator current. So at start, when slip is equal to 1, torque will be equal to starting torque and I1 is equal to starting current. So I am replacing this I1 by IST. Torque is proportional to IST square. When stator resistance starter is used, factor by which stator voltage reduces is, let us say that X, and this X will be less than 1. The starting current is proportional to this factor S. So if ISC is normal current drawn under full rated voltage condition at start, then I starting will be equal to X times this ISC. So in place of IST, I am writing X ISC. So in this slide you can see here, torque is proportional to IST square. So IST I am writing as X into ISC. So torque is proportional to X ISC square. But full load torque is proportional to I full load square by SF. SF is full load slip. So we can divide these two equations 1 and 2. So we can get the ratio of starting torque to full load torque, that is T starting by T full load will be equal to X square ISC by IFL square into SF. As X is less than 1, it can be seen that starting torque reduces by fraction X square due to the stator resistance starter. So I hope this stator resistance starter is clear. Operation of stator resistance starter is clear to everyone. So what we have seen in today's class, we have seen the necessity of starter. What is the starter? What are the contents of second unit we have seen? That is starting and speed control methods of three-phase induction motor and induction generator principle of operation and its applications. Okay, 4 points here. Starting of three-phase induction motor, speed control of three-phase induction motor, induction generator operating principle and its applications. These are the 4 topics we are going to see in the second unit. So under starting methods also what we are having 5 types of starters. That is stator resistance starter, auto transformer starter, star delta starter, rotor resistance starter and direct online starter. Then speed control methods, various speed control methods like resistance control, voltage control, pole changing, cascading are there. Okay. Then operating principle of induction generator and its applications. So today's class we have seen the necessity of starter. So what is the necessity of starter? Starter is used to limit the starting current and also it is used to reduce the high voltage or low voltage to it is starter is protecting the induction motor from high voltages, low voltages, overloading, single phasing. Okay, not only limiting starting current, it is doing all other things like what we have discussed just now. Basically, starter is protecting the three-phase induction motor. Then we have seen the stator resistance starter. So to the starter of three-phase induction motor, reduced voltage is applied through the through this starter, through these resistors or through rheostat, and in the starting position we are including the resistances, then slowly we are putting it in run position and removing this resistance after reduced voltage is applied. Then rated voltage will be applied to the stator of the induction motor and motor will run with its rated speed. So only in the starter will be used to give the reduced voltage to the stator of induction motor. The rotor which we are using here is squirrel cage rotor. Advantages we have seen: simple in construction, cheap. So for both star and delta type of stator we are using this. Large power. Disadvantages: large power losses and starting torque is reduced because of reduction in voltage. And we have seen the relationship between starting torque and full load torque. That is ratio of starting torque by full load torque is equal to X square into ISC by IFL square SF. Thank you everyone. Thanks for watching the video. Remaining starters we are going to see it in the next class.